For most guys, going on a first date's pretty nerve-wracking. But for Henry Roth, he was a pro at it. He enjoyed going on first dates, and those were usually his last. He liked to go between women every weekend he had off. For his job, he was a veterinarian at a sea life park, and he was known for his ways to womanize female tourists for that weekend. Typically, he shows no interest in committing to a serious relationship, and it's very short to end those relationships. He comes up with these excuses such as he's married, he's gay, doesn't believe in phone calls, so they can't keep in touch. Some even say that he ran away. One even said that he was a secret agent, and he couldn't give her his real name. Each one said they would never forget their weekend with Henry Roth. Henry enjoyed the ocean, and his boat, the Sea Serpent, breaks down. So he goes to this local cafe. While he's waiting at the cafe, he sees this young, pretty woman and decides to go talk to her, as he would any other tourist on the job. When Henry goes to the bar, he meets a young lady named Lucy Whitmore. When him and Lucy Whitmore hit it off pretty well, as any woman who's ever encountered Henry Roth has. And Henry Roth says he'll see her tomorrow, but he never catches her name. The next day he goes back, and he sees Lucy waiting, well, what he thinks is waiting, and it turns out she doesn't remember him at all. So he's thinking things through his head that maybe she's doing what I was doing. And so the tides have turned. Or at least he thinks so. He's confused, and the restaurant owner lets him know that when Lucy, a few years ago, her and her father were going to take pineapple, something they did every birthday of his. They were in a tragic car wreck, and Lucy was injured, and her symptoms were memory loss, a type of amnesia that promotes short-term memory loss, known as Goldfield syndrome. And with this syndrome, she wakes up every morning thinking it's the same day, Sunday, October 13th, the day of the crash. She remembers everything before that, but nothing after. She thinks it's the same day. She thinks she's going to go take the pineapple. The cafe owner warns Henry that he shouldn't be seeing Lucy every day, even though he's having to play it like it's a first date every time. But this might be the reason that Henry is able to do this, because he's been practicing so long. Now, this isn't necessarily a good trait yet. One day on his first date, Henry recognizes that Lucy doesn't remember him, but he tries something new, and it hurts her feelings. And so she runs home, and he chases after her to apologize, something he's never done with a woman before. So even right now, you see progress in Henry Roth's feelings for a lady. Lucy's brother and Lucy's father are really protective of her because they've been through so much, and they have to take care of her. Lucy's father and brother relive her dad's birthday every day by doing numerous tasks, such as putting out the October 13th newspaper, watching the same Vikings game that was on the television, and refilling her shampoo bottles to the same amount every day to save her the heartbreak of realizing she was in a car crash. Lucy's father and Lucy's brother make an executive decision for Henry to not see Lucy anymore. After after hurting her feelings, they hate to see their their daughter and sister be put through this because she's already been put through so much. They they later realize that she sings a certain Beach Boys song every day, and they realize that this song that they're singing every day is coinciding with her and Henry meeting each other. By doing this, Henry shows determination for his developing love for this woman by still committing ways to be able to meet Lucy. Even if they are extraordinary and accidental, they are in certain schemes that Henry has, he's still showing determination to see Lucy. Henry comes up with this idea to make a video explaining to Lucy their relationship, her accident, and play it every morning for her so she's not so out of the loop. Every morning she watches the tape and she's hurt and sad, but eventually she's able to start her day fresh, something she's never been able to do. She's living in the present and not the past. And this is by Henry's determination to help show his love for Lucy. Okay. So Henry is able to see that this is going farther than he's ever expected it to. He's never gone this far with a woman, and his determination and charisma trying to keep this woman is something different and unique, especially for Henry. It's interesting to see that Henry, someone who would never have a relationship for more than a weekend, is trying to fight the same relationship every day and still having Lucy not knowing who he is. Henry has his life goals, but he also has a new life goal, and that's to be right next to Lucy's side. His previous life goal was to go on a 1 year's trip to study walruses, something that he's always enjoyed, the aquatic life, especially with walruses. But the thing is, he feels like he can't see Lucy if he does this, and so he opts out of his lifelong goal and focuses on his relationship. This shows his true love for her and that he has given up a dream for a girl, something he would have never done before. Henry is sad to go his separate ways after Lucy breaks up because she doesn't understand why he would drop his lifelong goal for somebody who doesn't even remember him the next day. So they end up destroying all their journals of hanging out and all this stuff that a normal couple wouldn't have, but something that they have to keep the relationship strong. Henry is sad, but he goes a separate way and follows with his lifelong goal of studying walruses. Before he leaves, Lucy's dad stops him and tells him that where Lucy is, what she's doing with her future, that she's living at a brain institute and teaching an art class, something she's always enjoyed doing. He also tells him that he sings the Beach Boys song, the song that they always sang together when they hung out. Henry becomes emotional and gets mad at her dad for bringing back these memories. She says she does not remember any of these memories, but that she dreams about him every night and paints pictures of him, showing she has a long-term memory forming with Henry. And this is all due to Henry's dedication for this unique relationship, or a relationship that no one would have expected coming from Henry, and a relationship that no one would have expected Lucy ever having. This is why my tribute speech is dedicated to